it is in our interest to reduce the lead time. It is in our interest to reduce the lead time. So we will come here and say the objective is to reduce lead time. You reduce lead time. That is our objective. Now, how it will be done, we are not told. We are not told how it will be done. So what is the measure? The question says that it is, we are using days. So we are using days, that is the measure. Using days. And the target is we maintain at 3 days. We maintain at 3 days. It should be maintained at 3 days. It should be maintained as at 3 days. And what happened in reality? It increased from 3 to 4.1. So it increased from 3 to 4.1 days. And the verdict that we shall give is that this is also a poor performance. Is a poor performance. It's not a very good performance. We did not do well. The next thing is about the sales turnover. Now, sales turnover, it has to do with finance. So that is a finance aspect. And when we are talking about finance, the objective of any business, or rather we are talking about sales, the objective of any business would be to grow sales. So we can come here and say, grow sales. How it will be done, we are not told. We are not given. Remember, there are many ways of growing sales. Maybe we could reduce the selling price. We could invest more in marketing and advertising and so on. So that one we are not informed. Now, what is the measure? Measure is shillings. Is the turnover. Turnover in shillings. Is turnover in shillings. That is what you're going to use. And according to the data given, the budget is to move from 2.8 to 215 billion. It is to grow from 2.8 billion to 215 billion. That is the target. And then the actual that was noted is that we reduced from 200 to 169. So we reduced from 200 billion to 169 billion. We reduced from 200 billion to 169 billion. And this one is a case again of poor performance. So this business is appearing not to do so well. Everywhere it is being found in most the ones we have done so far. The next item that is mentioned is a case of royalty points awarded to customers. So the royalty points, that is a case of customers. So when we are giving our customers royalty points, it could be an attempt to increase customer satisfaction. It could be an attempt to increase customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction. So how will it be done? At least here we have been told we will award royalty points. You award royalty points. You award royalty points. That is how it will be done. So what will be the measure? It is again royalty points. Royalty points and or percentages, and these ones. So the target is to maintain at 1.5%. Is you maintain at 1.5%. But now, looking at what happened, it reduced from 1.4 to 1.2. It reduced from 1.4% to 1.2%. That could even be one of the reasons why the sales came down. See, the sales came down here. So it's also a poor performance. That is a poor performance. It is not good. It's not a good performance based on that. The next thing that is mentioned there is the total number of grievances lodged in a year. Now, when we talk about grievances, they come from the workers. And those ones should be part of running growth or development. And the objective is to reduce or manage. We can talk of reduce or manage staff grievances. Staff grievances. That is our objective. We manage them well or we reduce them. And how it will be done, we are not told how we shall go about it. So that is not given. It's not given how we shall go about it. What will be the measure? What will be the measure? The measure will be grievances lodged. Grievances lodged. That will be the measure. Grievances lodged. And what is the target? It is to maintain nil. Maintain nil grievances. Nil grievances. And in maintaining this, or when doing this, the actual was found to have increased. It increased from they increased from 47 to 123. 47 to 123. Increased from 47 to 123. Okay. So this one is a poor performance. A poor performance. It's a poor performance. Poor performance. And that could be explained by, you see here, we never promoted these guys. So this lack of promotion could be a reason why the grievances or the complaints are increasing, because we never promoted them. The next thing is is operating expenses. Operating expenses is a case of finance. So we come here, and when we are talking about expenses, we will talk of either reducing or managing operating expenses. We want to manage operating expenses. That is what we could be targeting. You manage operating expenses. How we shall do it is not given. We are not told how we shall go about it, whether we shall reduce salaries, we shall reduce our space, or we shall use more efficient processes. We are not told how it will be done. But what will be the measure? The measure is amount in shillings, or just, yeah, we can talk of amount in shillings. Amount in shillings, that could be the measure. Then the target, according to this question, the target is to increase from 180 to 185 billion. Is we increase from 180 billion to 185 billion. That could be, or that is the target of this particular objective. But in reality, the actual is that we increased from 190 to 199. So this was increased from 190 billion to 199 billion. And that is not a good performance. It's not a good performance. Not good performance. It's not a good performance because we were not able to contain ourselves up to 185. In any case, you can see even where we began at 190. We overspent, so that is not very good. The next thing is about customer satisfaction index. Now that customer satisfaction index is here. It could also be a case of increased customer satisfaction, increased customer satisfaction, increase customer satisfaction, or maybe to judge our, it could be to judge. Actually, the correct one should be, or rather we can also say, judging our customer relations, or increase customer satisfaction. How it will be done, we are not taught, so not given. We are not given. And if we are not given, the next thing is to look at the measure. The measure is the percentage. We are supposed to use percentages. We are supposed to use percentages. We are supposed to use percentages. And then from there, the target is maintained at 95%. Is maintained at 95%. You maintain at 95%. But what happened? We reduced. We reduced from 78% to 59%. 78% to 59%. That is what happened. And that is also not a good performance. Is not good performance. It's not a good performance. It's not a good performance. And then finally, there is the processing time for goods returned on warranties. That is a case of business process. So we could say manage processing time. Manage processing time. That is our objective. And how it will be done. We are not told. So we are not told how it will be done. The measure will be replacement time. The measure will be replacement time. Replacement time. Replacement time. And as you can see, the target is maintain. Maintain at 1 week. You maintain at 1 week. What happened on the actuals? It increased from 2 to 3 weeks. It increased from 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. Increased from 2 to 3 weeks. And that is also a poor performance. That is also a poor performance. It's a poor performance. So that is how you are supposed to approach such a question in regard to balanced scorecard. So are we okay? Good. The next question, which I want us to do, which happens to be the last one, is May 2019 question. No, it's not May 2019. It's not May 2019. Let me identify the question. Yeah, it is the question of November 2020, question 5. November 2020, question number 5. Question number 5. November 2020, question 5. November 2020, question number 5. Now the question says, High-Tech Limited intends to launch. High-Tech Limited intends to launch a locally manufactured printer in the coming month of October 2020. Sure, it is reading October there. The Research and Development Department of the company has provided the following information relating to the production of the printer. So we have that. Then additional information number 1 says production of the printer is scheduled to commence on 1st of October. It is October, not December. Some questions read December, but should be October. To commence on 1st of October 2020. The company plans to produce and sell 3,000 printers per month. A direct materials loss of 10% is expected with no resale value. The annual fixed cost attributable to the production of the printers is 60 million. This cost accrues evenly throughout the year. A learning curve effect of 95% is expected. So we are told to determine the labor cost for the month of December. So that is December, that one is okay. Then prepare a budget for the month of December, and then assume the actual results are given there. You are told to reconcile that. So when you're told to do the standard labor costs, when you're told to do standard labor costs, now what will happen is you will begin by saying that total labor costs will be given as total labor hours. You multiply by the hourly rate. Total labor hours, you multiply by the hourly rate. And when you multiply by the hourly rate, the next thing now is to come and check the hourly rate, whether the question has given us the hourly rate. Looking at the balance, or rather looking at the budget, the first table that is given, where you can see direct labor hours, we are already informed it is shillings 300, not 300, shillings 3,000. We are told it is shillings 3,000. Shillings 3,000. And with that, we now go looking for total labor hours. Total labor hours. When you go looking for total labor hours, you find that it is not provided. So if it is not provided, how then do you go about it? You proceed from there by saying, using running curves, total method, using running curve, total method. First of all, you write the formula. Y is equals to AX raised to power B plus 1. Y is equals to AX raised to power B plus 1. Now we look for B. B we know it is the log of R, you divide by the log of 2. And in this case, we are told that R is 95%. So this will be the log of 0.95. You divide it by the log of 2. So get to the calc and send me this figure to 3 decimals. Send me the figure to 3 decimals. The log of 0.95 divided by the log of 2, good, minus 0.074. So from there, we proceed and say b plus 1 will be minus 0.074 plus 1. When you add, these obviously will be 0.926. 0.926. The next thing that we need to identify is X. The number of printers that will be made over the month of December. We are told there are 3,000 printers. There are 3,000 printers because every month we are making 3,000. The next thing that we need to identify is A. Remember, A represents the time required to make the very first. So according to the table given up there, you can see it is 75 minutes. And these 75 minutes, if you divide by 60, now that here we are using hours, if you divide by 60, those are how many hours? $75 divided by 60 is what? Good, 1.25 hours. 1.25 hours. So when it comes to the substitution, we will say Y for December, it is Y for October, November, and December, minus Y for October and November, because of the absence of breaks. Now this one will be 9,000 units, and this one is 6,000 units. Remember, the ones for December that we are looking for, they are 3,000. Because when you're dealing with running curves, you are supposed to assume that there was no break since the time we began. So according to information 1, we began in October. So there is no break all the way to December here, all the way to December. So to be left with December, we must get for the 3 months, we rest for 2 months. That being true, then we will say Y for the 3,000 units of December will be, now we substitute and we will get 1.25 times 9,000 you raised to power 0.926 minus 1.25 times 6,000 you raised to power minus or rather to power 0.926. So work that out and give me the answer. Waiting for the answer. $1795.233. 1795.233 hours. Kamau Ann, karibu sana. Hata kama hizi class yenu ni karibu. So the labor costs, the standard labor costs, utachukua these hours 1795.233 times the hourly rate of 3,000. So multiply and tell me the answer. Multiply. Multiply and give me the answer. Yeah, 5,385,000. Is it 5 million? 5,385,697. 5,385,697. So we can make it 698. Let's work with 698. Yeah, because I can see it's 0.996. So that is the standard labor cost. Standard labor cost, so I can transfer it here. She's 5,385,698. From there, the question says we prepare the budgets. We prepare the budgets. Prepare the budget. So the budget for December, So as you can see, we will have revenue. So revenue, you take the selling price that is there, 17,500 times the number of units. They are 3,000. 3,000. So give me that revenue. $17,500 times 3,000. 52,500,000. 2,500,000. Then you say less materials costs. Materials costs. So when you look at where materials are given, you can find that it is 800 grams and a kilo goes for 7,500. So what you shall do, the same 800 is 0.8 kilos, is 0.8 kilos, multiply by 7,500. Then, as you can see in information 3, there was a loss of 10%. So when you lose 10%, you are left with 90. So this one you divide by 0.1. And then all this you multiply by 3,000. You multiply by 3,000. So multiply that and give me the answer. Oh, you're not able to see the figures as well. Okay, let me change there so that I can write. Okay, able to restart your gadget, restart the gadget. That is the answer to such a problem. Christine, or restart. Anne, are you able to see? Okay, Anne, are you able to see? Okay, good. Yeah, when you experience such a problem, the answer is to restart. So we were doing the budget. So I was saying what we needed to do is to have revenue. And revenue we had said is 17,500 times 3,000, which we recorded 52,500,000. Then we will say less materials costs. Materials cost, and materials I was saying, we are told it is 800 grams. So that would be 0.8, or let me put it this way. It is 800 you divide by 1,000 so that they become a kilo. Then you multiply by 7,500. Then all these, you recognize that loss that we are told to be there. You divide it by 1 minus 0.1. And then you multiply by 3,000 units. I don't know whether you had given me the answer. Said the figure. Uh, 20 million. Good. So it's 20 million. Then we go to labor costs. Now labor costs, it is the one we had there, which was 5,385,000 and 698. 698, that is the labor that we had, the labor costs. The labor costs. From there, we have variable overheads, variable overhead costs, variable overhead costs, which we are told is 60%. It is 60% of labor. So give me that amount. 60%. And said the figure. Christine appears to have issues with the internet. And Christine, I'm waiting for the figure, 60%. Okay, 3 million to that one. 3 million to that one. So we can make it 419. 419. the fixed costs, fixed overhead costs, fixed overhead costs. Now, according to information 4, it is 60 million. So you are supposed to take 60 million, you divide by 12, because 60 is for the whole year, and our budget is for 1 month. So this obviously will be 5 million. So send me the budget profits. So send me the budget profits. Okay, so let's now do the profits reconciliation. Reconciliation statement. Profits reconciliation statement. Now in the profits reconciliation statement, huwa tunakuwa na details here. Then we have the formula. Then we will have the workings. And then we'll have the solution or the amount. Or the amount. So from there, we will have budget profits. And budget profit is given as budget revenue minus budget costs. That one, we will not show the workings because already we have the figure, which is 1 million. No, that is 18 million. 882. It is 18 million 882 883 883. That is if you are up to that point, type yes. Christine? Good. So the next thing is now to bring the variances. So you bring the variances. And regarding variances, I told you, you are supposed to Start with the sales price. With the sales price. Now the sales price will be budget selling price minus actual selling price. You multiply by actual sales units. Budget selling price minus the actual selling price multiplied by actual sales units. And as you can see in the budget, our selling price was 17,500. And in the actual case, according to the actual results, you can see the selling price turned to be 18,000. And the units that were sold, they were 3,000. So multiply that. Work out that. Give me the answer. $1.5 million. Now this 1.5 million, it is favorable. It is favorable because we got the higher selling price. The next one is sales volume. Sales volume. Now sales volume is given as budget sales units minus actual sales units. You multiply by standard contribution margin. Standard contribution margin. The budget sales units is 3,000. The actual is 3,000. And if you look at the standard card, you can see the actual is the standard contribution margin is that. And obviously the answer there would be 0 because there was no variance in the units. Next is materials costs. Materials costs. So the material costs, as you can see up there, it was supposed to be, or rather, it is standard material costs minus actual material costs. Standard material costs minus actual material costs. So according to our budget, 1 unit was supposed to cost us 1 unit was supposed to cost us actually 6,000. We can just use it the way it is given in the budget, 6,000. So 6,000 times the actual number of units, 3,000, you minus the actual material cost, which is 18,900,000. 18,900,000. So give me the answer to that. 900,000. And this is adverse. It's adverse because we spent more. The next one is labor costs. Now, in the other questions that we have been solving in class, we just go straight using the total. But this one, because there was an effect of running curves, the total is broken down into the two components. And the first component is what we call the rate, which we know that it is given as standard rate minus actual rate. You multiply by actual hours. Standard rate minus actual rate, you multiply. So this one now we proceed to become. The standard rate per hour was 3,000. And when you check down there, you can see in the actual, they ended up paying 3,250. And the actual hours that were involved, they were 1,700. So give me the answer there. For 25,000. For 25,000. And that one is advanced because we paid the higher rates. It's advanced. Then from there, we go to the efficiency. Efficiency is standard hours minus actual hours. You multiply by standard rate. I guess you welcome, although this is not your class in Karibu. So the standard hours are, as you can see, we had done the standard hours. I think we had gotten to me a 1795. I'm going to kumbusha what it was. Let me see whether I can see it here in the answers you had sent. Tulikuwa tumetumia 1795.233. So you minus 1,700, you multiply by 3,000. Yeah, so work it that way. Those are the figures we had used. $285,699. 285,699. And this must be favorable. It is favorable because the actual was for fewer hours. The actual was for fewer hours. Twende kwa overheads. Variable overheads. Now, variable overheads, because they are also affected by the labor hours, we will have to use the components. The components are one, expenditure, the items that make the total variable overheads. Ya kwanza inaitwa expenditure, which is given as actual labor hours multiplied by VOAR, you minus actual variable overheads. Actual labor hours multiplied by VOAR minus actual variable overheads. So the actual labor hours, they are 1,700. VOAR is 60% of 3,000, because we are told variable overheads, they are 60% of labor costs. Then you minus the actual, which we are told is 3,400,000. 3,400,000. So you work that one out. $340,000. 340,000. And that one is favorable or adverse. It's adverse, it's negative, so it's adverse. Then we get the efficiency. Efficiency is given as started hours minus actual hours. You multiply by VOAR. VOAR. So now, the standard hours, we have 1795.233 minus 1,700, and the OAR is 0.6 times 3,000 times 3,000. $1,714. 1,714,194. 194. Is it positive or negative? Yeah, it's favorable. That should be favorable. Should be favorable. Good. Lavia, there is something we forgot to do here. It's something we forgot. We need to adjust it. This one. This one for material, we were supposed to have divided by 1 minus 0.1. Revise this one. Just like we did in the budget, the 10% should have been factored here. So revise that and give me the figure here. Revise that. Yeah, 1.1, still negative. Okay, let's now come down here. Let's go to the fixed overheads. Fixed overheads. Now, fixed overheads, we say it is the expenditure. We only bring the expenditure because it is the one which has the variance. So this will be budget fixed overheads minus actual fixed overheads. So according to the budget, we had 5 million. And in the actual, oh sorry, yeah, it's okay. And the actual is 5 million and 75,000. So this gives us 75,000, which is advance. I had told you about the volume, but volume is only brought about when you have stocks. And this question does not have stocks. So with that, we get the actual profit. We get the actual profit. And the actual profit is already provided. The actual profit is already provided. So you just get it from the question as 21,100,000. So in the reconciliation, I told you what you do. You take the budget profit, you add the variables, you less the advance, and that will give you the actual profit. Check whether it balances. So now the reason as to why it's not agreeing, because you can see that, is because the actual results, they did not use the actual, this one, they did not divide by 0.1. But that was the correct way. So if we wanted to balance, then we will have to go back and redo what we had done. But that is a measure of inconsistency, which is from the original question. But now we have no choice than to disregard this one. So you have to disregard that one and you return this back to 900. And with that now, it should balance. Check whether it agrees now. Because you can see in the 18.9, they did not use. So that means you are not supposed to have used here. Okay. Check whether now it is agreeing. Obviously, with like a small difference because of the decimals that we were around in there. Is it okay now, Christine? Christine? Okay. Now, when you add, there should be a difference of around that 1,000. A difference of around that 1,000 and some few hundreds. And that difference is attributed to the roundings that we have done here. This one. That rounding is the one that is responsible for that small difference. And then the 10% that was used in the budget that brought this one to the way it is, those differences, those values. Otherwise, without the roundings, it should agree cent to cent. So that is how you're supposed to do reconciliation. And that brings us to the end of what I intended to do. And therefore, to the end of our blocks. So I take this opportunity to thank you so much for being our students, for choosing Destiny to be your trainer. We hope that you have been able to satisfy your expectations. And the true measure of that is your success in the exam. We believe that we have given you what was required for you to pass the exams. So on my own behalf and the behalf of the management, I take this opportunity to wish you well in the exams and also to invite you to join our section 6 if you are not combining. We have a very good team that is ready to take you through section 6 as early as from 8th of September. Some people are asking me why that fast, even without waiting for the results. And the reason is our focus now is not on the results that you will be waiting, it is now on the exam for December. So make sure you come immediately so that we proceed. The semester will also be short, so don't take a lot of time before you join. We also want to invite you to continue helping us in the marketing, the school. There are very many people you come across. Please consider telling them the very many good things you have seen about us. And we believe that with your help, we'll be able to get to our destination. So thank you so much. God bless you. We wish you great success. Thank you. Thank you.